The Nintendo Game Boy Advance was an amazing handheld system. I remember spending countless hours adventuring with the likes of Mega Man and Samus. Good times. One genre it had in no short supply was that of the 2D platformer. While many heroes jumped their way across our tiny screens, many never left their home country of Japan. But thanks to passionate fans, they finally have a chance to show off their skills to a Western audience. Hey there, this is Mega Blade J, and this is my review of the Legendary Starfy. The Legendary Starfy is a 2D side-scrolling platformer. It was made by the Japanese developer Tozy Software and published by Nintendo for the Game Boy Advance on September of 2002. I had never heard of Tozy before. After doing some research, I was surprised to find that they've been making games since 1984. From what I can tell, they seem to work as what Wikipedia calls a ghost developer. This means that they help other studios make games but don't take credit for their work. From what I can tell, once again according to Wikipedia, it's possible they've helped make nearly over 1,000 games over the years. Could possibly include Resident Evil 0 on GameCube, Splatoon 2 for Switch, and Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns for PS3. The Starfy series is one of the few games they put their company name on, as they co-own it with Nintendo. Only the 5th game in the series was released outside of Japan. It also shared the name The Legendary Starfy. For the sake of not getting the two confused, the translators of the GBA version added Origins to the title. So I'll be referring to this game as Starfy Origins to keep things simple. As Starfy was made for a younger audience, the story and gameplay is pretty simple. Starfy Origins takes place in a magical world covered in a vast ocean. Our story starts in the flying city of Pufftop. Here we meet the titular hero, Starfy. He's the Prince of Pufftop and, well, a total klutz. One day, while carrying some treasure, he slips and drops one into the ocean. Sometime later, a major storm hits Pufftop, knocking Starfy into the ocean below. He's nursed back to health by a lobster hermit and teams up with Mo, a loud-mouthed clam with a bad habit of taking credit for our actions. After a little one-sided negotiation, they set off together to search for a way to get Starfy back home. Along the way, they help people with their issues, fight some crazy bosses, and save the kingdom from an ancient evil. As you play, you'll run into a variety of colorful characters that aid you in your quest. They'll either give you a key item, let you play a minigame, or just chat you up for a bit. Got to admit, there was way more story and dialogue than I expected. While this was neat at first, I soon felt that I couldn't move 5 feet without running into someone that wanted to tell me about their day. The controls and gameplay were simple but fun. While in water, Starfy can swim in any direction, dash and spin to attack foes, and break blocks. While on land, he can spin, jump, dash, as well as float in the air to slow down his fall and make it to outer reach areas. Not sure why a starfish can float in the air. I mean, it's convenient, so I'm not going to complain about it. As you progress, you'll get upgrades to some of your abilities, such as the ability to spin longer or jump higher out of water. Each world ends in a pretty simple boss. Most involve watching their movements and waiting for a chance to strike. Nothing too complicated, but I could see a younger player having fun figuring out what to do. One thing I enjoyed about Starfy Origins is that it's very Kirby-like in its difficulty. As said before, the game was made for a younger audience. As such, I felt the game was way too easy with no deaths by the final boss. That was until I got to the post-game. Like Kirby, the real challenge doesn't start until after the credits roll. After you beat the main story, a post-game and a few other extras become unlocked. These include being able to replay minigames, a music player, character galleries to complete, and the most extensive post-game content, collecting treasures. As you play the game, you notice there are a number of blocked off areas. Once the game is beaten, these open up, allowing access to new areas, with each one containing a number of hidden treasures. Getting these is no cakewalk, as the new areas are way more challenging than the main game. They feature harder platforming sections, new, tougher enemies, and make use of all of Starfy's abilities. You even have to refight all the game's bosses, with more health and new, harder attack patterns. This caught me completely off guard, and I loved it. I died multiple times, and I loved overcoming its challenges. This is how you do challenge in a platformer. It allows younger gamers to beat the game while providing a challenge to those that want to go for 100% and get the true ending. One thing I didn't like about collecting the treasures, however, is that you were booted out of the stage when you got one. So, to collect all the treasure in a stage, you have to re-enter it and play the same level over and over again. Fortunately, the levels aren't that long, but it's still a pain to have to replay the same areas over and over and over again. Kinda felt like a cheap way to extend the playtime. Like the Kirby games on the GBA, Starfy Origins has some wonderful graphics and presentation. The backgrounds are varied and colorful, with characters having large, well-animated sprites. The music has this Caribbean-ish thing to it, and had a few catchy tunes that are still stuck in my head. To promote the game, Nintendo got Japanese idol Becky to sing the main theme. She is known for appearing on Pokemon Sunday in Japan, as well as for doing voice work on anime such as Detective Conan and Aim for the Ace. Though this game was only released in Japan, there is an English fan translation online. If you're looking for a physical copy, it can be found pretty cheap for about $30 to $50 online. Overall, I had a lot of fun with Legendary Starfy Origins. It had fun, platform gameplay, wonderful music, and a truly challenging post-game. The Legendary Starfy was a big hit in Japan and led to several sequels on both the GBA and Nintendo DS. Unfortunately, as stated before, we in the West only received the 5th game in the series, around the end of the DS lifespan. I have absolutely no idea why this didn't come out West. It would have made a great addition to the GBA's library of platformers. If you enjoy games like Kirby, then I highly recommend this game. This has been Mega Blade J. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, like and subscribe for more Let's Plays, reviews, and more of my horrible attempts to entertain you all. Thanks for watching. See you all next mission.